Welcome to Real Time, Florida Sportsman. This week, we're fishing shallow water for grouper. It's time to find the shortest route to the hottest bite. We scan Florida Sportsman's regional forums for the best fishing reports, then travel to make real anglers our local guides.
Give me some of that!
Together, we let you in on secret spots and hometown moves.
That's what I'm talking about!
Oh yeah, she's done for now.
This week, we follow a hot report on the West Central Forum and head to St. Petersburg to flip baits under docks and wrestle keeper-sized grouper to the boat.
Look at this fish! Are you kidding me?
Then we head down to the Southwest region where we'll pull big plugs over hard bottom for more good-eating gags. All coming up on Real Time, Florida Sportsman. Everyone knows that the Gulf has an exceptional grouper fishery. With shallow, hard bottom, it's a perfect habitat for these fish. On 2 separate trips to the West Coast, I discovered some of the best grouper fishing with techniques that I've never even utilized before. Our trip to St. Pete, Tampa Bay, started with meeting Stuart Davis, aka Psycho Snooker, in the West Central section of the Florida Sportsman Forum at Munch's, a local breakfast place. We ate some breakfast, talked to Stuart, and formulated a plan, then headed over to Fort DeSoto to launch the Triton. Tampa Bay is Florida's largest open water estuary, extending some 400 miles and actually forming the coastline of 3 different counties. The first order of business for the day was to head over to the Skyway Fishing Pier and cast nets and bait. It took some time to find the right size bait, but after some heavy chumming, some moving around, we found the perfect size pilchards. We loaded the well full and headed off to Stuart's first spot. That's the size we're looking for right there. Look at that pilchard. That's a gumdrop. And Stuart is on this crazy grouper bite, fishing inshore residential docks. I've never even heard this type of fishing before, but him explaining it to me, it sounds a lot like the snook fishing that we have over in Stuart on the east coast of Florida. All right, we're sitting here in the West Central section of the Florida Sportsman Forum. Stuart Davis, aka Psycho Snooker, on the forum. You got something totally crazy for us. I've never even heard of this. Grouper fishing, residential docks.
Yeah, we're going to try some big pilchards. We're going to throw them underneath the docks, and these grouper will just come up and eat them. So it's something, after trying for snook many times, end up catching grouper, and it seems to be what's here.
Right, because this is the way we fish on the East Coast, on the docks, you know, for snook. I don't need to go 10, 20 miles offshore to get these grouper, and they're keeper grouper.
Keeper grouper is what we've been catching. It's awesome.
That's got to be insane pulling them up underneath that dock.
It is. It's a lot of fun. We'll see. Be a little bit of a challenge to get them out, but we should have a good day.
Let's do it. So we pull up to the first dock, and I really don't know what to expect. You know, but it's pretty basic setup. Pretty stout rod, circle hook, pilchard, just flip them under a dock. 80-pound fluoro, we busted out the heavy stuff today. This is what you need.
This is what we need.
Torque 7s, 80-pound braid, drags locked all the way down.
Yep,
Combat
100% down.
fishing. We call this combat fishing. Right along the edge, Stuart?
Yeah, don't
Right on the
get
edge of the dock?
right at the edge of the dock. Stay out of the combat zone. You ready?
Oh my God! Okay. I kid you not, the first bait on the first dock got hammered. You know, heading over here after seeing his reports, I was a bit skeptical, my producer was a bit skeptical, but Stuart's onto something. That's kidding me? That didn't take long. Oh my goodness. And he's got a tag in him, look at that. That's a nice fish right there. What a fishery. Man, he just hammered that thing.
We did.
God, this is just like our snook fishing. This is a typical size here.
You get a little bit bigger.
What a great fish. That didn't take long at all.
No.
God, I want to do that again. Early for a bath. Oh man, I'm addicted. I can't get a bait in there fast enough. It seems to me the most important thing is to have the right gear.
It is. Very important. It's.
I mean, I can't imagine doing with something less than this. This drag is locked all the way down. These torques have 40 pounds of drag, and I barely stopped that fish. 80-pound braid, 80-pound fluoro, big old trocar hook. Man, God, they thump it like a big snook. Do every one of these docks hold fish?
There's a lot of them that do. You just gotta.
I gotta pull them out from underneath the dock.
I'm not caught. The hell I'm caught. I'm caught onto a grouper. Look at that fish.
Look at this fish.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Why do you run 10, 20 miles offshore when you can do this right here?
These are good-sized fish. You know, people head far offshore, spend a ton of money in gas, and here we are, catching them in somebody's backyard.
No doubt that's a keeper.
If you don't like that, that is nuts. That is just like our snook fishing on the East Coast. You flip it in there, you tighten your drag all the way down, and you just hang on. Look at that fish. Look at the size of that fish on the dock. A residential dock. You guys that are running offshore, man, I have no idea why. That is fun. That is fun. The Penn Squall is lightweight. It's ergonomic graphite design with legendary Penn power at a price any angler can afford. Its lightweight design is built for power and incorporates the same top-of-the-line DuraDrag system that you find in international reels. It utilizes a Versa handle that allows anglers to adjust the length for power or speed. Penn took into account the finer details of reel design with the new Squall. It's extremely ergonomic design constructed with a lightweight graphite frame and side plates. And you'll notice the handle doesn't protrude above the frame, eliminating cutoffs by the line hanging over the lever. Look for the new Squall at your local tackle store or check out pennreels.com.
So Manly, the winter time, we just had our first cold snap, and you said that was, now's the time to come and do this.
It is right when that first cold front comes through and changes the water temperature down probably a good 10 degrees. First couple of days after that, the grouper kind of come in, and next thing you know, they're on the docks and they stay here pretty much a lot of the winter months.
You got one, don't you? Yep. Pull him! Let me get out. Oh, that's a good one too. What a good one. Oh, another good fish. Pretty fish.
Pretty fish, beautiful. In between the ones we just caught.
As crazy as this fishery is, it's not that surprising that these fish are here. You know, it's a typical wintertime pattern that these fish move in from offshore into the shallow waters. And Tampa Bay is a perfect habitat. Deep shipping channels, plenty of structure, and a lot of bait.
We're using these white baits, get pilchards. What else works?
Big thread fins will work in here, some pinfish. You gotta be careful of the size of the pinfish. Gotta get them the right size. Sometimes we're up 3 or 4 inches, usually it's pretty good.
I don't know if he was being kind, a gracious host, but Stuart kept shaking his fish off.
Oh, that's a big one. Pull him out of there. Pull him right. Pull him right. Pull him right. He wants to go right. Pull him right. Pull him right.
He broke.
He broke. I'm sorry, Papa. That was a giant. Yelling at you, telling you what to do in your home waters. Just smack me with the pole next time.
Yeah, I kind of was a little bit concerned, but that was good. You were giving me good advice.
How long have you been fishing these waters, Stuart?
18 years.
18 years. Jeez. Pretty much all inshore?
Mostly inshore. I'm not an offshore guy. I like to cover the inshore and kind of learn the waters, and offshore seems to be pretty far to have to go get grouper.
Yeah, especially when you got them in your backyard right here.
Pretty lucky. The whole bay is full of them.
You know, it was kind of funny talking to Stuart. He said he accidentally discovered this fishery. He'd been snook fishing these docks, kept losing fish, breaking off, beefed up his tackle, and finally realized it was grouper that he was losing.
There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go.
I got no
Good
time to
job.
breathe.
I switched over and put a little jig head on, flipped him in there. That is fun.
Man, what a great grouper fishery. St. Pete Beach area, these docks. It is so much fun pulling these things out here, man.
Nothing like it. Takes a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun.
Look at the reward. Perfect. Rapala's been my go-to hard bait for years. Whether I'm offshore trolling for wahoo or in search of snook and reds on the flat, Rapala's always had me covered. With detail to colors, eyes, internal holographic foil, textured scales, gills, and lateral lines make Rapala lures come alive to match bait fish. VMC hooks, the finest quality hooks available, strong and extremely sharp, tuned to the lure to give excellent action. Whether it's the Clack and Wrap, the X-Wrap series, or the Magnum, you don't need to be a tournament angler to make these lures swim perfectly right out of the box. Stuart likes to utilize live chumming. We took a lot of the small pilchards and greens that we caught that morning, and every dock that we pulled up to, we throw a handful out, kind of turn the grouper on. After a couple hours of fishing, we pretty much developed a pattern. We realized that some of these docks were holding more fish than others, maybe they had a little better bottom, and all we really did was go from dock to dock. Oh, yeah, look at that one. Woo-hoo! Son, look at that fish. I barely got him hooked. That is a healthy grouper right there. I switched over using that half-ounce jig. It's really just getting that bait down to the bottom. Is that just a full belly from feeding? Look at that thing. That is a mama. She's getting ready to, I don't know if it's spawning season or what, but that is just a fat fish. God, what a great grouper. I do that every time. It's pretty apparent you can do this type of fishing anywhere on the West Coast where you have a good offshore grouper population. These fish move in the wintertime and set up in these big bodies of water. And just like any other fish, they love structure. These residential docks are perfect habitat. Real time. This is a perfect example that it's not always what you catch, but how you catch them. Stuart's developed a specialized technique to target these fish inshore. I'm so glad I made the trip to Tampa Bay to experience this technique firsthand. But there are other unique ways of targeting these grouper when they move into the shallow waters. There's an upstart of guys that are trolling near shore, hard bottom. That's exactly what Andrew Purcell, aka Flatsbroke, is doing in the southwest region of the Florida Sportsman Forum. So I made my way down to Sarasota and met up with Andrew at a kind of unique place, a cook your catch restaurant. Andrew brought along some grouper that he caught a couple days before. We had some drinks, some fish, and ended up making plans to meet the next morning at Ken Thompson boat ramp. We got to the boat ramp just after sunrise and launched the Triton into Sarasota Bay. All right, first thing this morning, we're sitting here in Sarasota. So we got Longboat to the north, Lido to the south. We're right on the edge of the southwest section and the west central section of the Florida Sportsman Forum. Sitting here with Andrew Purcell, Flatsbroke on the forum. What you got planned for us?
We're gonna go out and do some trolling for grouper today. Anywhere between 40, 55 feet of water, using big lip plugs.
We got the Rapalas.
Yeah.
They're gonna dive down. You said start out in like 50 feet of water.
Yeah, we're gonna start out deep, work our way in. We've been out a couple times this year, getting fish anywhere from right at legal, 22 inches to the big fish this year so far has been 33, 34 inches, about 13, 14 pounds. So it's been pretty good. So we're gonna go give it a shot.
As we left New Pass into the Gulf, we were greeted with perfect conditions for the run offshore. All right, we're sitting here, what, 10 miles off, 12 miles off?
Yeah, about probably 10, 11. We're in 49 feet of water, just over a little ledge system out here.
Just gonna troll back and forth?
Troll back and forth. The ledge line runs kind of northeast to southwest, so you're gonna troll over it, troll on the sides of it, just trying to figure out where the gags are laying today.
All right, we got the new Penn squalls. We got a 30, a 25. I got 50-pound spider wire on this one. We're going to just a double line to a improved Albright, about a 6-foot section of 80-pound fluoro. And then just right to this Rapala, Magnum 30s we're gonna be trolling. Try to get them down.
Yeah, the trick is get them close to the bottom as possible. You don't really want them bouncing off the bottom. Some guys like them bouncing off the bottom. I don't, because if they're hitting the bottom, you're getting caught on the bottom. And
So this is another new technique that I haven't done much of, you know, trolling for bottom fish. So how far back do we set these?
You're putting them probably 100 to 150 feet back. You know, we'll be going about 5.5 knots.
I heard when they really come up and nail these things, they do a number. You want a tight drag, or how you want your drag?
You want it pretty tight to set that hook, but you don't want it too tight. There is a very fine line.
We put our 2 lines spread out, started trolling around, and really it's just a waiting game. You can see the action of those lures,
yeah.
Rod tip.
They're down there just like this.
I'm on the water more days than not. A cooler is just as important to me as any other piece of equipment on the boat. In Florida's harsh environment, I need a cooler that's built to last. Yeti coolers are rotationally molded, which makes them virtually indestructible. T-Rex lid latches are the same latches used on ATVs. One-piece seamless construction provides long-lasting durability. Yetis feature never-fail hinge systems, double hull handles, and vortex drain systems. Thicker cooler walls mean more cold-containing insulation. Yeti lids have 3 inches of insulation because that's where it's needed most. And Yeti coolers don't just close, they seal. Yeti coolers are built to take the rugged abuse from the way we work and play. Unlike ordinary coolers, which are typically disposable, the Yeti is built to last. Yeti, wildly stronger, keeps ice longer. What kind of bottom do you want to look for when you're out here? How do you fish it?
Any large area is best because you want to be, if you're trolling an artificial reef or a small single ledge, it's just one spot, and doing this you can't turn around real fast. So you want to look for a spread out area, whether it's Swiss cheese bottom or ledges or a combination of both, or pretty much anything bottom structure oriented that's over a pretty decent area. This particular ledge line runs about a mile or so.
Things started out kind of slow, but just like with any other type of fishing, it's developing a pattern. We started marking some great bait on the bottom and realized these were the areas that we needed to concentrate on. There he is.
There's a fish. Double.
2 fish.
Oh, that one's off. That one's not though.
We just went over the top of that tabletop you marked. You said, you called it out. You said big tabletop.
That just got hit.
That one got hit?
Yep, I got a fish.
All right.
We are doubled up. I got another one. Ooh, I got a good fish too.
Doubled up.
Doubled up on grouper trolling.
Look at
Off
that.
Sarasota.
It's a little bigger than mine.
Yeah, well, you know, the local guys got to show up. That's a good one right there.
That's a really good. We got some grouper sandwiches tonight.
Yes, sir.
What a nice fish. You know, it's funny because that got hit. He missed it.
And he came right back for
Came
it.
back and got it again. Look at that. You know, this is not hard fishing. You find some bottom, you troll these plugs around. It could be a little monotonous. We were at about 45 minutes before we got these two,
But a double.
doubled up.
Good way to start the day. But no, the good thing about this is fishing anybody can do.
Yeah,
This, you know, you don't burn a lot of fuel. You're not going
we're not 10, 12,
40,
12
50 miles offshore.
And these are some good eating fish right here.
Yeah, it is.
22 inches has got to be.
22 inches. This one easily makes a mark. We're going to have to measure yours
I'll
up.
measure mine. 22 and a half.
22 and a half.
Let's get some more.
Yep.
Get these ones on
Get
ice.
these things on ice. Look how much bigger mine is.
And just like that, things went from slow to full onslaught. We already have a 1-person limit in the Yeti, and more importantly, now we have a pattern. Now we know where to concentrate our efforts. How long have you been fishing this area?
Well, I was born and raised here, so pretty much my whole life. My dad had me out on the water, you know, a year old, 2 years old. So, been doing it my whole life, pretty much.
Mainly offshore or you do both?
Thought we just had a hit. Mainly now offshore, but when I was young, we started out fishing in the bays, catching little grouper and trout and flounder and Spanish mackerel, ladyfish. And some of the best memories I have as a kid are drifting through Big Pass with shrimp, catching ladyfish.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be
No, it
glory
didn't.
fish.
No, back then it was quantity, not quality. And there he is.
You better do your P90X or your insanity before you come out here. Your arms will burn. It's hard enough just reeling these lures in. Get a fish on. You really feel it. So there's some smaller ones out here too, not just the giants. A little short one. Amazing, he came up and ate that lure. I mean, look at that. Aggressive little guys. Let's let him go. Let's get a big one. There he goes.
So things started to slow. We were catching some undersized fish. What we realized is that these ledges weren't holding the bait that the original spot was this morning. We decided to pick up and head back to the original line of ledges. As soon as we got back to the original spot, we were marking the bait and didn't take long to get a bite.
That's what I like to see right there.
See if we can pull a magic double again. I think we're clear. See him. Another nice gag.
Got it.
Whoa, 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 whoa. There we go. Yeah.
Oh man.
That's another good one. You got him?
Yeah, I got him.
All right, careful. This hook's all the way down. He ate it good.
Look at that, man. I tell you what, this West Central, Southwest region, trolling for grouper. I've read about it, I've heard about it, I saw your post. Maybe you want to come over here and do it. It's been a great day, man.
Absolutely.
We got some dinner.
Definitely got some dinner.
I've been fishing for over 30 years in my life and never utilized these techniques to catch grouper. It just goes to show you, there's always something to learn from others. Andrew, aka Flatsbroke, showed me that control right off the beach with big lip Rapala plugs to catch keeper-sized grouper. And Stuart Davis showed me you can have just as much success flipping pilchards on a circle hook underneath docks in Tampa Bay. I would have never discovered these techniques if it weren't for their reports on the Florida Sportsman forum. So keep posting your fishing reports, and you may be my guide next time on Real Time Florida Sportsman.
Is it hard to set? It's got to set back up. I forget. I'm like,
That's why they call it residential. It's not gonna be as peaceful as fishing on the flats, but it's a little more effective. You got him. Who's more nervous, the bait or you?
there you go. There you go.
Oh, he's sleeping.
Yeah, you're sitting there sleeping. Turn him, turn him, turn him, turn him, turn him. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go.
That's how you do it. It's like largemouth fishing, flipping for bass. We're flipping for grouper. Real time. Oh!
We're on again.
Off.
No way. You gotta be kidding me.
Fishing means long runs over open, often rough water, quietly approaching monster fish in the shallows, trolling the depths with a frisky live bait for a trophy of a lifetime. The Triton LTS is a bay boat with a big water attitude. It's built to handle every facet of fishing, including the catching part. No other boat fishes, performs, and fuels your angling passion like a genuine Triton LTS. Fish hard, fish fast, fish far aboard a Triton LTS. See us today at your local Triton dealer or visit us at tritonboats.com.